After our lovely day of temples and being thoroughly cleansed, following day we spent a couple of hours mooching around town and sitting in a cafe working out where we're going next, and then we took a quick trip down the hill out of town heading towards the Kampuhan Ridge Walk. We're out for a stroll on the Ridge Walk this morning. It's just outside Ubud. It's a 10-kilometre hike. You don't have to go the whole way. There's cafes and tea shops all the way along. Apparently you can see paddy fields. But what I wanted to do is just show you where we are and listen to the noise. All the cicadas singing, the water running. It's pretty fabulous here, isn't it?
We're right next to a temple, so you can hear music coming from inside the temple at the moment. We're not looking at the stream very well because the ground's uneven to kind of see where we're walking, but it is just lush. Very beautiful. We're very humid because obviously we're in a jungle.
So nice little walk. It's been threatening to rain for a while, and we're heading back. It's about a 3 or 4 kilometre walk each way we've done, and the heavens opened. That's why everything looks so green and lush. But it just boom, here it goes. So we're back. We've done our forestry walk and had lunch. We've just nipped into Ubud Palace to have a quick look. It's very museum-like, like all the temples, very blingy. The carvings are fantastic, especially this guy here, big dragon look-alike. Not quite as blingy as some places we've seen in the Far East, but it is beautiful. Different culture, different everything. It does look lovely. These 3D carvings are really quite superb. I'll try and give you some scale of it. Like Claire says, you can't really get far enough back to appreciate it. Look up here. All of their carvings are absolutely fabulous, aren't they?
They are, they're really ornate, and one of the other things I like is if Tom pans up there, what you can see is there's one of their gateways there, which is a doorway underneath, and most of their doorways, when you step through, has got some sort of barrier. This is a big screen, some of them are just an individual statue, so it's like there's no channel that goes all the way down. Whether that means that the bad vibes or something hit that and bounce back or scatter, but there's no clear path through. There's something in the way, so I'm assuming this is a protector of the doorway.
If you actually look behind you, you probably haven't seen, there are 2 big chairs, thrones maybe. Now, this is the royal palace. There is actually still a king in Ubud, one of the last 4 kings remaining. There were 4 for many years. And Ubud is the last one to have a kingdom, but it's actually still run as a self-governing area within Bali, within Indonesia. Apparently he is a very well-respected man and works very hard. I think the thing I love about Bali so much so far is just how everything is so green and lush. I know it's the rainy season, it's been raining for a couple of weeks only now, but look at the sky. You've got bright blue sky. It rained for a little bit later, but everything is so green and lush. It is super. And the humidity, I think it said it was 98% earlier today. Means there's 2% left. There ain't a lot of water can go in this air. It's not hard to breathe, but my god, it is hard work living. I don't know how they do it. We are sweating from the minute we wake up to the minute we wake up. So other than all the lush foliage everywhere, there are orchids everywhere. I must have seen 20 or 30 or even more different types of orchid. These are tiny little white flowers. And these ferns are huge, growing up in the trees. If you like leaves, this place is a absolute wonder for you. Look at the spikes on that. It could be a kaffir lime. Oh, it is. That's kaffir lime. I love it how every statue actually has a flower behind the ear. Another one here. God, and they look cool. The following morning, we left our hotel in Ubud and headed an hour to the east to a little place called Candidasa on the beach for a last week of R&R and a few more temples, of course. So we've just arrived down at the south coast, so I thought this time I'd actually get the camera out to show you where we are before we mess the room up and make it a mess. Everything again is lush and green. We've gone for just a 1-bedroom bungalow here. The sea goes through there, you can just about see it. Again, these fantastic flowers everywhere. Our little decking. We are in room 1. Look at this room, isn't it fabulous? Lovely and clean. Great big bathroom. Who wants to see a loo? No one really. So much cleaner than the last place. My God, it doesn't smell. The other place stank. But for £6, this place, I think including breakfast, is £24 a night. So you take breakfast off, which is about £3 or £4 each. So it works out at £16 or £18 a night, which really is quite good value. Looks fab. And we're gonna have a beer. We're gonna have a sleep this afternoon. We're gonna go and do a geocache. So we've come down to the beach to a place called Candidasa. It was formed around this huge, great big lotus pool, which is where the name came from apparently. As you know, we're a bit sad and we do geocaching. Yesterday we looked on the map to see if there was any near the hotel, and there is one. And it's here. I'll give you a spoiler. It's underneath that. The best thing about it is...
First to find. It was only placed a week ago. It hasn't been found, and we're the first ones.
Hooray! So we just had a beer after our first geocache, and Claire was looking down the list of spas here. I gotta say, the bottom one really tickles me. I want to know what that is. So this is where we're staying at the Puri Oka Beach Bungalows. So far so good, yeah?
Yeah, I really like it. I like the area. There's a few places to go out to eat, not masses of choice. We found a very nice bar, jazz bar, and then we got the bill, so we might not be going back there. But it was very nice.
Actually, the beer wasn't that good. It was bintang, same as the others, but it was a draft. It's a bit flat, a bit watery, and was nearly twice the price of every other beer we've drunk, so I ain't going back there. The next morning we hired 2 scooters as we wanted to explore the east of the island, and especially wanted to go and see the world famous Heaven's Gate. We have come to the Maha Kenkana Paradise Temple. This is the one that you see in all the photographs, the massive great big gateway. It's a 3k ride up. Yet again they know how to fleece us. It's £3 there and back. You're not allowed to walk, you're not allowed to take your bike up there just to get the money. And when you get there you've got to pay again to get into the temple. The bus brought us up some of the steepest hills that we've ever been on. And then now we've got to walk up here. Of course it never quite shows how steep it is. Oh, there's the view. Literally we are 20 feet past the tree and we're nearly above it.
This is steep. No, it's only the last bit. We've got to walk. We've got to bus the rest of the way.
And you wanted to walk up the 2 kilometres, which they say is 3. I think it's about 30 at this rate.
Yeah.
So when you get up to the top and it's a bit of a walk, everybody comes to see this. This is like the most impressive gateway in Bali. We're ticket number 242 and they're on 140 at the moment. which means there's about an hour's wait. That's something we're not going to do. But if you can see from there, right behind, in between the two towers, is the volcano. So opposite the massive gate is the actual temple itself. As Westerners, as foreigners, as non-Hindus, we're allowed up the left-hand side or the right-hand side, but the middle is only for those going for worship. So we're going to have a run up this left-hand side because there's not many people there. My God, it's a long way up. It's hot, it's humid yet again, out of breath. But my God, the view is stunning from up here. Heaven's Gate, this is called. Visiting somewhere just about as touristy as you can get, like Heaven's Gate, it's never the same in reality as you see in photograph, and this is a prime example. It is the most touristy place to see, worth coming. You know you're going to get ripped off, you know it's not going to look the same. These two photographs just prove it. After a couple of wonderful hours at the temple, we jumped back on our bikes and headed to a little town called Ahmed on the coast for a little bit of lunch and some snorkeling. The fish were aplenty and the sea was perfect. After that, we jumped back on the bikes and headed through the forests on the tiny little lanes back to our hotel for the evening, a couple of games of cards and obviously a couple of beers. So it's Friday, it's hot again. We kept the bike for a second though, and we thought we'd come and see this palace, and then we realised it's about £6 each to get in. To be honest, it's just a load of gardens and you can see most of it from the outside, so we're not going to bother. But when we were here yesterday, we saw a bit of a fish market and there's a little harbour here, so we thought we'd have a mooch around here for a little bit and then head back. Really, it's just another day of chilling. We finally booked our flights and sorted out our flights to Singapore and booked somewhere to stay, so that's cool. So the next leg is Singapore, and from there we're going to move up into Malaysia, Thailand, and to be honest, no idea where after, have we?
See where we end up.
It's Friday. We've been out on the bike this morning, as you've just seen. We're going to have a bit of a chill. We've just had some lunch, had a quick beer. We're going to take the bike for a little bit more of a run around locally. Go and have a beer in the English bar, the Queen Head I think it's called. Get the bike back for 6, and we'll have a bit of dinner tonight. Tomorrow is going to be a day of chilling, and then we're going to pack ready for Sunday, where we're off to Singapore. But at the moment, this water is blooming freezing. I suppose a couple of days of stormy, cold, rainy weather cools the sea down. It's bringing the waters in from the South Atlantic, I presume, but
It's either that or we're getting used to the heat outside. Oh my goodness gracious.
but the water is crystal clear. I'll show you the bottom. So you'll be honest, it is lovely and refreshing. You do get warm patches, but I'm not sure if that's where Claire's been. As you can see, our travels aren't all holiday. We actually have to do some work, and here's Claire sorting out the last of the B&B that we had at the house. Once she's done that, then I'll do a little bit of work. We've got to start packing, but there are worse places to sit and do a drop of work in there. And through the trees you can just about see the sea. It's a slight breeze, it's hot and humid and sticky again. And there, I got to start packing. Singapore tomorrow, baby. The following morning we took a short flight from Bali to Singapore, where we finally parted company with Simon and Angela as they head back to the UK and to work. Join us on the next episode as we show you the sights and sounds of Singapore.